when you're working on a piece and you've just written it, what's the next step for you to take it onto the stage? I have all these acting students here who are fascinated by it, watching them. And do you have anybody watch you, or do you do everything yourself?
Well, at first, when I first started out, I did everything myself. But, my first productions were really very weird by anybody's standards. And a lot of them were solo pieces too, where it was just me. But when I began to do bigger productions, working with more people, I quickly found that it was very, very good to have a director, because you need another eye there, and there's so much responsibility in terms of putting a production together, like dealing with, the lighting designers and the set designer and people's schedules, and I like having a director.
When you do these solo pieces, though, tonight's performance, for instance.
Well, tonight, I arrived here with my suitcase and met Ludovic and got here to the theater. I must say that Tom, who designed the lights, is really great, and he's very good to consult with about quickly putting together a staging of something. I think Tom did a really great job with the lighting design, and Lucia was running that. So I'd like to thank everyone involved. And George Edgar, who runs this theater, so they're all great.
Why did you decide to go to New York, and how did you get there? How old were you?
Well, when I first went to college, I went to Paris. I was in Paris for 2 years with my sister. And then I went to the Courtauld Institute in London for a year. But then, I don't know, I'd never been to New York. And I started feeling really kind of like being an expatriate was becoming a little isolating. And I suddenly just became overwhelmed with curiosity about New York. And I just wanted, because when I had left America, I was 17 and painfully shy and very innocent. I just wanted to see what America was like again, And so I came to New York. I went to Columbia first, but I wound up going to the New School, which I really liked, and I fell in love with downtown, the East Village, and I just kind of got into the bohemian world of downtown New York. That's where I started out doing theater, and I love it there.
Two questions. You said acting helped you come out of shyness. I'm wondering if living in a foreign country and learning a foreign language also. That would be one question. And then I'd be curious who some of your favorite writers are.
Okay. Well, certainly being in Paris, I'm sure, helped in starting to drink. Drinking is very good for old age. My favorite writers, let's see. There's so many amazing writers. Right now, Dostoevsky is just blowing my mind completely. I hadn't really read very much of him until quite recently. Crime and Punishment, The Idiot, which is the book I brought with me here. The man is just absolutely dizzyingly astounding. And anyone who's not read him, don't be put off by the fact that he's Russian, that his books are like 700 pages, because those 700 pages go by like they're 150. They go so fast, they're amazing. Who writers? Baudelaire, always as a poet, is amazing. amazing. The Flowers of Evil. Jean Genet has been very, very formative for me, very influential. A French writer, began writing in prison. I think he's enabled me to do a lot that without him I wouldn't have been able to do. This Japanese writer, Yukio Mishima, is amazing. Shakespeare, oh my God, you know. I don't know, there's so many, so yeah.
What kind of music do you listen to?
Oh, all sorts. Right now, Puccini is really amazing. And he writes all these very wildly romantic Italian operas. They're great. But you know, I know a lot of musicians downtown. I mean, I go to all sorts of crazy stuff, heavy metal, or you know, any kind of all kinds. I like working with musicians too. As a poet, I think it's a very fun thing to do, like to work with an electric guitarist or with a saxophonist or drums. I think way in the back up there. Yes. Hi.
How long did it take you to memorize all those lines?
Not really very long because it's stuff I've written, you know. It's very close to home, so my own material is not that difficult, but other people's can be.
Do you ever write things for other people to perform? And is it, since it seems like your personality's in it a lot, is it strange to see you, like to see someone doing something of yours?
No, that's a very good question, and I love writing for other people. I might add that, you know, one reason I chose certain of the things I chose was that they're all excerpted from plays that have other characters in them. It's just that I, being up here by myself, you know, I could not really manage to bring any other actors with me, although I would like to in the future, you know, because I do have an amazing theatrical family in New York. There are people that I'm very close to, that I've worked with very closely over the years. Incredible actors, and I love when I'm writing just to think specifically of writing for a particular actor. I find that very helpful and inspiring. Well, I don't want to keep you, you know, but any more questions? Yeah, sure.
I'm just wondering if you're married or have kids.
Well, no, I mean, I'm, you know, gay.
Is that the kind of clothing you usually wear, or was that a costume?
Well, actually, until recently, I used to always wear outfits like this, but in the past year, I kind of, I don't know, for some reason, changed my style a little. So I'm not wearing knickers so much these days. But I like them, and I do indeed sometimes. I mean, I always look kind of bizarre, dress bizarre.
Do you always worry about being of death instead of thinking of surviving?
Generally, yeah, I guess so. My plays tend to be quite humorous. It's just, it's actually really difficult to, being that I was only excerpting my own passages, it's hard to convey, you know, the overall scope of the things. There's a lot of humor in what I do. I try, you know, like with Hit Run Drive, a monologue to hit some some humorous notes, because I want people to feel free to laugh, you know. Things can get too serious, that's for sure. Yes?
Do you ever have nightmares? Like after
Nightmares after?
Yeah, like after performing or practicing?
Well, I had a nightmare last night, you know, an anxiety nightmare about doing the show. And I find nightmares tend to be kind of amazingly fun. You know, very exciting. And I did have a recurrent nightmare when I was maybe 11 that was so horrifying that I never actually managed to remember what it was. I was so horrified when I woke up. You know, so I love dreams. I think they're tons of fun.
Do you ever get a strange reaction from the audience?
I think I've been relatively lucky thus far in that I don't know, I've always gotten a pretty good reaction from people, you know. Don't speak too soon, no? Is that rude? All were delightful.